on a normal day in March 1990. Suddenly, everything changed for the Millbrook family. Dannette and Jeannette, twin sisters who were only 15, vanished without a trace. They were walking home in Augusta, Georgia, a place they knew well. But this time, they never came back.
This is the first case of missing twins that are still missing today. They should be America's twins, and nobody knows about them.
Police didn't do nothing.
Anybody that was our color was runaways.
I just can't believe no one knows anything.
He doesn't want to be exposed for the lousy investigator that he is.
I want them to help me find them.
The twins' father hung out with people who committed murders.
An apparent serial killer who was operating in their neighborhood.
What if I told you that I know where you could find them?
Tell me something good, Ernest. Tell me something good, brother.
I'll tell you a story.
Hey guys! Welcome back to your go-to place of dark and captivating true crime stories. We're here at Crimeco to unearth the mysteries that haunt us all, bringing you the stories that'll leave you intrigued. If you dig our content, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. It helps us keep bringing the chills. Now, grab a drink, snuggle up, and get ready to crack open another crazy case with your favorite crew. Alright then, let's dive in. The Millbrook twins called Augusta, Georgia home. It was a southern city with the Savannah River snaking through it and greenery everywhere. But beneath the beauty, there could be danger. This friendly community, full of history and charm, was where the unthinkable happened on that day in March. Augusta sits right on the border between Georgia and South Carolina, and folks there are known for being friendly. The Millbrook family lived in a regular neighborhood where kids played and people chatted. It felt like a small town where everyone knew everyone else and looked out for each other. But on March 18, 1990, that feeling of safety vanished for the Millbrooks. Dannette and Jeannette, 15-year-old twins full of life and kindness, were the center of their family's world. Born just minutes apart, they were practically glued together. Dannette, the older one by a hair, was the outgoing, adventurous one. Her smile could light up a room, and her energy was contagious. Jeannette was quieter, more introspective, but just as loved. Together, they were navigating teenage life with dreams of a bright future. That afternoon, after a quick errand, the twins headed home on a familiar path. They had no idea the horror that awaited them. What should have been a normal walk turned into a nightmare, one that would scar their family and the whole community forever. As the sun dipped below Augusta's horizon, the Millbrook family's world shattered. Dannette and Jeannette vanished without a trace. The search for them would stretch on for years, but the answers they craved would remain hidden, leaving a gaping hole in their lives that nothing could ever truly fill. The Millbrook family rushed to the police after the twins vanished, but things didn't exactly go smoothly. Back then, there was a weird rule. You had to wait 24 whole hours before they'd even start looking for someone missing. Can you imagine the torture for the Millbrooks? Every second felt like an eternity. Their house was filled with nothing but worry and fear. Where could Dannette and Jeannette be? Were they okay? With each passing minute, the worst thoughts crept into the family's minds. They begged the police for help, but it felt like no one was listening. And when the investigation finally kicked off, it was a total mess. The file with all the initial clues, stuff that could crack the case wide open, somehow disappeared. To make matters worse, the police kept giving the family mixed messages. One officer said the girls were in foster care, another said the case was closed because they were 17, which they weren't. It was like a never-ending nightmare. The hours after the twins vanished were a blur. The family and police turned Augusta upside down, searching everywhere for Dannette and Jeannette. But the trail went cold fast, leaving the Millbrooks with nothing but questions and fear. According to the limited details available from the original investigation, The last known sighting of the twins occurred at a local gas station where they had stopped to purchase snacks and beverages. The clerk, a familiar face to the girls, noted that their behavior seemed perfectly normal, and she had no reason to suspect that anything was amiss. After leaving the gas station, Dannette and Jeannette made one final stop, visiting a relative's home and asking if they could accompany the girls on the short walk back to their own residence. Tragically, the relative was unable to do so, as they had other obligations that evening. This was the last time the Millbrook twins were seen by anyone who knew them. As darkness fell and the girls didn't show up, panic set in for the family. They called the police, who started searching the area. But it was like hitting a brick wall. No real clues, no witnesses, nothing to help the police figure out what happened. The whole thing fell apart in 1991. The police just closed the case, saying the twins probably ran away or were in foster care. Turns out that foster care stuff was a big fat lie. Can you imagine how that felt for the Millbrook family? Their hope for answers vanished faster than the twins themselves. But the Millbrooks weren't quitters. For over 20 years, they kept bugging the police, never letting the search for Dannette and Jeannette die. Finally, in 2013, something amazing happened. The case was reopened. It was a fresh start, a chance to finally crack this thing open. The new investigators at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office promised to look at everything, every file, every lead, no matter how small. They even got DNA samples from the family and combed through the old reports, hoping to find something the first guys missed. But you know what? Sometimes the truth hides really well. Despite all the new effort, the mystery around the twins just got deeper. It's like all the clues disappeared into thin air. The Millbrook family and the investigators are left with a terrible truth. They might never know what happened to Dannette and Jeannette. This whole story took a dark turn. Just when things couldn't get any worse for the Millbrooks, a creepy new detail came out. Turns out, a scary guy had been hanging around their neighborhood right before the twins vanished. This dude, Joseph Patrick Washington, had a criminal record a mile long, full of kidnapping and assault charges, all targeting young women. Witnesses said they saw Washington watching Dannette and Jeannette everywhere they went. He'd be at the gas station where they bought snacks and even lurked near their house. It felt like a dark cloud had settled over their once safe neighborhood. Things got even worse when they found out Washington was practically living in their neighborhood. It made the Millbrooks feel super uneasy. And guess what? Just before they disappeared, Dannette and Jeannette told their mom, Louise, that a creepy guy in a van kept following them. No wonder they were scared. The big question is this: did this creep, Washington, have something to do with the twins' disappearance? It seems likely. Maybe he tricked them into going with him, promising them something or pretending to need help. The thought of Dannette and Jeannette, so trusting and innocent, falling victim to a monster like that is chilling. No wonder the Millbrook family is heartbroken and the whole town wants justice. Washington ended up getting caught for other crimes, but the police never connected him for sure to what happened to Dannette and Jeannette. Too much time passed, and there wasn't enough proof. It's like chasing shadows. Now the Millbrook family has more questions than ever, with this creepy guy hanging over everything. This case is a scary reminder that evil can be anywhere, hiding in plain sight. And the impact it has on innocent people can last a lifetime. The search for Dannette and Jeannette continues, but the shadow of Joseph Patrick Washington looms large, a constant source of pain for the Millbrook family and the entire community. The story of Dannette and Jeannette Millbrook has become a national obsession. True crime fans and podcasters everywhere are hooked on this unsolved mystery that stretches far beyond the quiet streets of Augusta. One of the first to shine a light on the case was the hit podcast, The Fall Line. Hosts Laura Norton and Brooke Hargrove dug deep, looking at every detail, every piece of evidence. They talked to the Millbrook family and brought this heartbreaking story back into the public eye. The Fall Line wasn't just telling a story, they were on a mission. Their podcast made people care again, made them want answers for the Millbrooks. True crime fans everywhere were glued to their phones, listening to the chilling details of the twins' disappearance. The podcast's impact was huge. They even offered a $10,000 reward for any new information that could crack the case. With so many people listening, the Millbrooks hoped that someone, somewhere, might finally come forward with a missing piece of the puzzle. After all those years, maybe, just maybe, this could be the break they needed. The Millbrook case has become a cause for true crime podcasters everywhere. Shows like My Favorite Murder, Thin Air, and Crime Junkie all took a crack at the story, offering fresh perspectives and keeping the mystery alive. It wasn't just podcasts either. The teams behind The Fall Line and Unsolved joined forces to raise money for giant billboards. They wanted to make sure no one ever forgot Dannette and Jeannette. This multimedia blitz showed two things: how much true crime fans care and how powerful this story remains, even after all these years. Through it all, the Millbrook family has never given up. They fought like crazy to keep their daughter's memory alive. And thanks to them, and all the podcasters and journalists who care, the search for Dannette and Jeannette is still going strong. The Millbrooks are an inspiration. They show us the strength of love and the fight for what's right. In a world that can be cruel, their story is a beacon of hope. It reminds us that the truth matters, no matter how long it takes to find it. Someone out there knows what happened, and the Millbrooks, along with all of us, won't stop searching until they get their answers. The years haven't eased the pain for the Millbrook family. Every day since Dannette and Jeannette vanished in 1990 has been a struggle. This mystery is a monster that keeps haunting them and the whole town of Augusta. Despite all the searching, the interviews, the dead ends, nothing. The original investigation was a mess, and it feels like they just gave up way too soon. Now the Millbrooks have more questions than ever, with no answers in sight. But they haven't given up. Not even close. They fought like crazy to keep the search alive, and thanks to them and all the true crime fans out there, the story of Dannette and Jeannette is everywhere. No one is letting these girls be forgotten. The pain is clear in their eyes. It's a constant reminder of how precious life is and how evil can hide anywhere. But even in all this darkness, there's a flicker of hope. The love for their daughters keeps them going, the belief that the truth will come out someday, no matter how long it takes. Augusta stands with the Millbrooks. They all believe that one day they'll know what happened, and the people who did this will be held accountable. Until then, the family and their supporters won't rest. Dannette and Jeannette will never be forgotten. This whole story is a chilling reminder of the darkness the world can hold, even in quiet towns. But it's also a reminder of the strength of the human spirit, the power of love, and the fight for what's right. No matter how hard things get, those things will never truly disappear. Alright guys, before you dash off into the night, don't forget to hit that like button. It lets us know you're digging the content, and that keeps the creepy cases coming your way. While you're at it, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss our next dive into the mysterious unknown. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you on the flip side for another mind-blowing case. Until then, stay curious,